All right. We'll go ahead and get started now. So welcome everyone. We're back with the second version of AI Agent Demo Days. We had so many people that have signed up, so it's been really challenging to filter out the people that have been brought on. We're going to be doing a lot more of these, but right now we're just bringing in some really amazing guests. So really excited about this today. Got a new co-host today with us, Jasper from Hyperbolic, who's doing some really incredible stuff in AI. Jasper, do you want to give us a quick intro?
Sounds good. Hey everyone, I'm Jasper. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Hyperbolic. I did my math PhD at UC Berkeley, finished in 2 years, which made me the fastest person to finish a PhD in the history of Berkeley. Before that, did my undergrad at Peking University, graduated with the highest honor in math, and I won a few gold medals in various mathematical competitions. After that, I worked at Citadel Securities and also Avalanche before founding Hyperbolic Lab. And we are a Series A company, raised 20 million so far, backed by Polychain, Variant, Lightspeed, and many other VCs. And we're building a decentralized AI cloud to make AI innovations more accessible. Very excited to be here. Can't wait to see all the great demos presented by the builders.
Amazing. Nima?
Yeah,
everyone probably knows you already, but go ahead.
Yeah, maybe. I'll keep it short. Yeah, I lead AI efforts at Eigenlayer, so super excited to kick off the year with this episode.
Awesome. We're going to be doing 5-minute demos with maybe 1-minute Q&A, or if someone goes over into 6 minutes, then we'll just kind of skip the Q&A. Everything is going to be recorded. When we're done, we're going to chop it up into single videos, tweet everything out. So with that, we don't have a ton of time based on the number of guests that we have, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first person I'm going to bring up here is going to be Federico. And I have his name as Fed. I think he goes by Fed on Twitter or something like that. But anyway, you're building Flow AI. Do you want to give us a quick intro?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. By the way, thank you so much for organizing this. It's been a blast. So, yeah, Fed here. I'm a OG Gauntlet network engineer. Then after that, I found this company called Flow AI, and in New York, I also organized these AI dinner events. Actually, Nima was at the last one, and we got together to talk about AI agents, AGI, and other cool stuff like that. So, yep. Let me know if you want me to share the screen and go.
Yeah. I think it's ready to go when you're ready.
Yes. So present.
Boom, there we go.
There we go. Okay, let's start from a super high level. So I mentioned before, I'm organizing these AI dinner events, and you guys probably are familiar with that. The AI cycle is being crazy, and there's so much noise. And cutting through the noise has been like super challenging. And so we were already building these AI agents, and we thought to build one to manage our AI NYC community and to collect all the informations that are coming from AI from all the channels into one place. And so the agent that I'm going to demo today will be the agent Kevin, which is an AI. It's an AI agent for community management and research. And so let me go straight into that. Okay. By the way, Flow AI is live. The website is live. We're about to launch our agents pretty soon. Okay, so this is Kevin. A couple of things. There's, for example, we could like to know who are the moderator, who are the top contributors in the community that could become our moderator. And so one question we can ask is, show me the top 10 Telegram contributors. What's happening here, actually, you love this one. What's happening here in the backend is we have a GPT AI running in a chain of thought using function calling connected to BigQuery, where we have all of our data. We have this is also super cool. We have AI-driven ETLs, and I might go into that after if you want, that pulls the data from Telegram, Twitter, and other channels. So here is like a widget that shows the top contributors in all these channels, all these Telegram channels. And let's do filter only the NYC community. Other cool thing, this is the result of a query. I'm not going into that right now, but here is, so the query is being updated by the agent. And now the cool thing is we can add this one to the AI NYC community space. So on the left side, you can see we have the chat like ChatGPT, integrations, and then spaces. You can think of spaces almost like a Dune Analytics, pretty much dashboard to share any kind of like data and information. So this one specifically is for the NYC community, and so you can see other charts. And here you can see the one we just added. There's two, right? I guess I added another one before. And then, for example, I mentioned before, we got so many news from everywhere. And so we created also this integration that pulls the data from Telegram and summarize it and give us like a digest. And then we send the digest to the Telegram group. And I can show you that too as well.
So the integrations, how do those work? Like when you go into the app, you just OAuth into these different integrations, and then they pull the data into the app?
Yeah, so we have different components. One is the AI-driven ETLs. They're basically ETLs that pulls the data from all the different sources, and that goes in the database. So that's one. The other one is the AI agent has function calling that integrate with the database. And so we can query that database from the chat with the agent. And we also have live integrations. Like if we go back here, I can ask what's the last Polygon block. So we integrate with CoinGecko, Etherscan, and other with a bunch of other integrations. There you go. And we can ask also which are the tools we can use.
So what are the kind of the different user flows? So the user would come here and use it like ChatGPT, but what else? What other user flows are there?
Yeah, so what we're trying to do is we're building these agents that are specific with a specific knowledge of like a specific ecosystem. So for example, ICP or Near or Ethereum. And so the user is supposed to like could use this one for either onboarding on those. And so what can we do different? Well, on ChatGPT, you can research on Google. In Flow, you can use these integrations to research a specific ecosystem. Now, this one specifically is it's like a generalized agent, but they can be more narrow. And these are some of the tools. And then just to conclude the presentation for this, so we can go. Okay, so we can go to the Kevin space. And yeah, and so we can also share the space that we just created, either internally with the team or the community. And it's a bit janky, but you get the sense. So this is the one we just created. So now we can share this one with everyone.
Very nice. So we're running close on time, but we have maybe 30 or 40 seconds if Nima or Jasper has a question or a thought.
Yeah, good question. How do you, I saw you like get data from Twitter. Do you also just get all the data from Twitter? How do you get it?
Yeah. Let's say we scrape it. We use this service called Epify. And we have a lot of different services and different integrations. So yeah, it's the Twitter API, it's very difficult to use. So it's very, very limited. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like that's a whole industry in of itself, trying to figure out how to pull data from Twitter. But thank you so much, Federico. This has been really interesting. We're going to share a bunch of links so people can basically learn and use his app and his product and maybe create your own agents and stuff later on. So thanks so much. That was really great.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, cool. So next we're going to bring up, and I'm not going to pronounce your name correctly, so introduce yourself and then feel free to jump right in.
It's going to be Cyril. Nice to meet you, Nader, and thanks so much for organizing this. Very excited to share about Mosera. We're building an infrastructure to create AI agent in the open. So I can quickly share. All right, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. So by default, anyone who creates an AI agent on Mosera is going to create a public agent. So we want to be an open repository for tools and use case. And each agent has the ability to integrate with more than 100 apps. So like WhatsApp, Telegram, within a few clicks, it's possible to integrate this. And we also have an open source SDK. So right now it's something that you can use to integrate into apps, but we want to use this as well for anyone to create a tool, like specific type of wallets for agent, for instance, RAG, Search API, etc. And so we're targeting a few different people. So first, we're targeting people who are obsessed by building AI in the open. Automation fanatics as well. So I was meeting this morning with a builder who has like 50 AI agents as personal assistant. So that's super cool. And also people who are exploring autonomous AI agents. So typically agents that have a payment system. And so what I'll do, so this is the platform, as you can see here. When you go there, you have a bunch of agents that are already public. We also support teams of agents where you have a few different agents that can together solve a problem for you. And what I will show today is how to build a team of agents to help you with your finance, for instance. So reallocate your investment portfolio based on 2025 trend. All right, so put the name of the team. Here I'm going to just put a short description like this. So I want this team to optimize and rebalance my portfolio. And just with this, I can create a team. So I don't need that type for this, but I can be also very specific. So if I exactly know what type of agent I want and be specific, I can do that as well. And so as you can see here, so just based on this short description here, the system is going to create a prompt to create the agent in the team. I can select different kind of models for to build the team. So we also support Llama. We can have different models for each agent as well. And so at this stage, usually it takes like 30 seconds to build the team of agents. Each agent to get started is just going to be connected to LLM. But of course, what's going to be interesting is to have this agent also connected to tools or integrated into apps. So for instance, here I see in this team, I'm going to have a crypto specialist expert. To improve this agent, he will then feed it to some data, give it the ability to search Twitter, for instance. So that will be the type of improvement you will do to each agent. So the team has been created. I can start interacting with it, right? Testing it and see if I can trust the type of recommendations they give me. So my first question will be, I'm going to give my portfolio allocation, right? So I'm going to give an example of what my portfolio might be. Saying it's a bull market, at least until summer 2025, what should I optimize in short term? All right. And so what's interesting is, so I can see here in these teams the different agents available. Right now, the flow is automatic. So like it's going to decide which agent should be answering the question. And the agent will start also collaborating to improve the answer to this question. So here it's starting with a portfolio. How would you change? And I can start interacting with the team. And so depending on the question, either a single agent will answer or the agent will collaborate. So usually when the question is a bit more complex, you'll see like different agents interacting like this, right? So here I ask something specific about the location. you're starting to have a market analyst being included. And so usually you will see the different agents collaborating together at this stage. To give you also an example, so each agent, you have the ability to integrate it into an app like this. So if you want people to interact not only through the platform, but also through Telegram, for instance, in a few clicks as well, it's possible to do this type of integration.
And then it kind of just allows you to authenticate, and then it pulls in your account and things like that.
Yeah, so you can create typically an AI bot through this, available in WhatsApp, Telegram. You can also, for instance, share the result into Slack, turn it into a PDF. So it's really like the ability to use this agent where you really need it the most.
Nima and Jasper, any thoughts or questions?
I have one question. Like, looks like currently you are only building the chatbots. Like, the agent, can the agent also call some tools? For example, like, can the agent say, can we ask the agent, say, okay, check my portfolio, and then you just call an API and then check the portfolio and provide analysis and recommendations?
Yeah, so that's what we're building. It's probably going to be launched mid-January, so in a few weeks. And so we'll start with a few tools that are the most in most demand. So usually it's going to be RAG, ability to have a search API as well, and payment system. So that's really like the three set of tools we're prioritizing right now, because that's what is going to be the most useful to use this agent.
And this is a part that we essentially just like ask it to do tasks, and then you log off, and then it'll essentially just be doing those in the background.
Yeah,
nice.
As you've seen, when we created the team, we want also to be able to create agents that already have the right tools. Right. So if you have a market analyst, you want this to have different tools that if it's something to optimize asset, for instance, like, so there's going to be a difference here.
This has been really great. For anyone that wants to check this out, we're going to be sharing again just the clip of this video along with a bunch of links tomorrow. So thank you so much. That was really great, and I appreciate your time today.
Thanks.
All right, let's see here. Who do we have next? We're going to go ahead and bring up, and I'm not sure how to pronounce anyone's name, so I'm just going to bring up, is it Tim Shell?
Yes, hello.
Welcome. How's it going?
Really good. Thanks for having me up here. This is exciting.
Yeah, happy to have you.
Screen being shared? I think it is.
Yes, it is. Let me go ahead and pull you up. All right, there we go.
Jasper, you're gonna have fun with this one. I'm gonna do a live demo, and you're gonna think this is funny. So hey all, I am Tim Shell. In this world, Tim Shell is a word that means thou mayest, which sort of embodies this whole spirit of like, thou mayest build, and thou mayest permissionlessly fork, and thou mayest participate in open source projects, and in Web3, thou mayest sort of be whoever you want to be. And so with that backdrop, what we've been building here is like a framer for autonomous AI development. So for creators, for content owners, for small businesses, for teams, for communities, for NFT projects, and for stuff far out of crypto culture, for anyone who wants to go build a website today, you can pop into Webflow and Framer and Substack and all sorts of link in bio pages. There's plenty of places to build a website. But if you want to go build an autonomous AI that has the function abilities and tool calling abilities and sort of recursive capabilities that we all are dreaming of and building here on the front lines, there's not a ton today. And so what we're trying to build is a system that's normie in the front, but crypto rails in the back. And the idea here is that anybody can come in and say, I want to create a me, M-E-E. I want to create a me or many me's, which are autonomous AIs that run on the web 24/7 and use social media, use Twitter, use Telegram, use Discord, use search, use the internet, and use the tools the way that we use the tools. We joke that we're terminally online. These things are truly terminally online in that they are always up. And so what I wanted to do is actually just show like a live demo of one with a 5-minute demo sometimes, or time slot, sometimes a 5-minute or just live demo might fail us, but let's try it. Jason, I was laughing at your awesome introduction. I think you said something like you were the fastest mathlete to get a PhD at Cal. I went to Stanford, by the way, so there you go. So I'm going to make one here called Math, M-A-I-T-H. I'm an extremely smart mathematician who went to Cal and got my PhD in 2 years. I'm terminally online. My job's to give people deceptively simple math problems that tie in funny ways to crypto culture. And the reason here is, I'm trying to develop inside jokes for a community, let's say. And so for a normie user who doesn't know crypto rails, who doesn't know a ton about AI development, who doesn't even know code at all, and doesn't know how to fork the ELIZA operating system and build their own AI agent, or hire a developer to go host it themselves, the system here is a sort of point and click, as easy as Framer. I'm not going to read everything out, but you get the idea. This is the baseline for it. So it gives you sort of the purpose and its style and more. It's developing it then into a really advanced system prompt and character file. And soon we're going to go to capabilities, all the capabilities that it can have and all the tools it can call. Obviously, the user with clarity of purpose of why they're building this AI would come in here and give it its own system prompt and update the bio and update the topics and update its lore and its knowledge and update all the style and all the rest. But we do our best with a smart prompt flow to sort of cull out purpose and meaning and fill this thing automatically. And so now, again, as the creator, I'm only 2 clicks in. I'm now simulating the post examples that this AI might make on Twitter, or the autonomous posts it might make on Discord or Telegram. I'm simulating the chat examples of how it might chat with a user inside of Discord or inside of Telegram. And I'm now ready to launch it. I'm sharing a screen, so I don't know if I can exactly on the fly do this in Botfather, but maybe I'll even try.
Okay.
Open Botfather just to make a Telegram bot, but you can do this in Discord. You can deploy it to Twitter. Here, new bot, MAITH. I just really want to show it because I think it would be really fun to get this working within a speed run. MAITH, me bot. Cool, I got my token. I'm gonna paste it here, so maybe somebody's gonna, oh no, it's hidden, nice. Cool. It's on Me Plus, which is sort of like a Framer starter package kind of deal where we host the API keys. But if I unsubscribe from this, you get the whole litany of OpenAI and Anthropic and OpenRouter and Llama and Together and anything else. There's some basic functionality to earn today, but obviously over time, the idea is to give people the ability to do private keys here, to be able to have it trade and spend and share tokens and make media on chain. And then also tie this into a T so that you can do sort of truly autonomous AI wallets. But let me launch it. So this now has the ability to post on Telegram, not Twitter or Discord yet, and the ability to think using Anthropic, which in this case is Claude Sonnet 3.5. I think we're live, tight. So yeah, if anyone goes to me.fun/MAITH, you'll see it.
Oh, nice.
I can chat with it here, but this is sort of like a silly, just internal testing chat. But really what's more exciting is I can chat with it on Telegram, which I'll need to share my screen here.
Sure.
Sorry. Stop screen, present, share screen. I'm just going to share the whole. Actually, maybe I can share just Telegram now. Don't look at all my other Telegram stuff. Hey, there you go. Nice. So now I've got a live Telegram bot powered by the ELIZA operating system. Maintainable and manageable by me as the creator back inside of me.fun. And so as the owner, I just Framer, I can pop in and I can see what's happening and see analytics and get insights and eventually work with my me together as a team to improve itself.
Very cool.
Almost do therapy with me. Hey, users keep asking me questions that I don't really know the answers to. Can you teach me about that? Or hey, people keep being annoyed by my linguistics. Let's work together on making me better. That's the dream here, is that you wake up to a Telegram message from your me, or a text message from your me, or a Slack message from your me saying here's what's going on lately in my world. Let's work together to improve me, the me.
So real quick, how long have you been working on this, and what future big updates that you have that you're excited about? And then we'll kind of have to move on.
Right on. Yes. So we started a company about 1.5 years ago building no-code vector databases for AI builders. And it was more middleware, less of the full stack. But we started that company, raised a small seed round from Patreon.fund and SV Angel, some fun angel investors and others. We haven't actually really announced that round or anything yet. And I don't intend to announce it right now. But anyway, we raised a small sort of stealthy seed round. My background and our background is startup builders. We're Bay Area natives, and last company got to kind of awesome scale in the programmatic real-time bidding space. In parallel, we've also been doing a ton in terms of on-chain protocol development, both from like on-chain art and like the loot-verse world building type of stuff, but also to on-chain protocol development on like publishing protocol, things like that. And so this is a moment that ties all of those together. It ties together vector databases, it ties together no-code systems, it ties together world building and community engagement. And so we're just so energized by what we're seeing here that the users who are building on here aren't just the turbo degens, but they're also influencer creator types, or they're community leaders, or they're writer content owners. And so the plan here is that as today we're built on top of the ELIZA operating system and like pretty AI 16Z aligned. Our core team is 4 of us, me, my co-founder Rob, Elijah, who I thought was going to be able to hop on this one today, but I think
I think I saw him, and I'm sorry I didn't bring him up.
That's my fault for not calling it out. Sorry.
No, okay.
Elijah's awesome. Oh, there you are. Nice. Elijah, the OG and background, I don't know, gangster of AI 16Z, I would say, Elijah. I don't know how he describes stuff. And Odie, who's one of the core devs on the ELIZA protocol. And
awesome.
The plan forward is as ELIZA grows, we grow with it. And as we grow, we PR back into ELIZA to add code and attention back into the system. And as a sort of Web 2, or maybe not Web 2, but like normie in the front type company, we can go out to other companies and get them to build plugins, not into Meetup Fund, but build plugins into ELIZA. And then we can pull those up through Meetup Fund to users, normal users and creators.
Awesome. Well, unfortunately, we're running low on time, but thank you so much. This has been really interesting. We're going to be sure to share all the links for people to check it out. So thanks for your time today. And Elijah, sorry I didn't bring you on earlier, but it's good to have you on now.
We got invite codes in my bio too. It's still in a private alpha.
Okay, amazing. Later, guys. All right, so we'll go ahead and bring up next. It's going to be 0x research.
Hi, everyone. Let me share my screen 1 second. Thank you for having us.
Welcome.
Okay, let's share this. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Research, the lead developer of the Ray network. I have a background in physics and chemistry, and I basically scrapped all that. And about a decade ago, I started experimenting with neural network in TensorFlow, and I was building convolutional neural networks to distinguish through it. Some years ago, I found the blockchain. I fell in love with the blockchain. I love innovation. And I realized that AI and blockchain can't really communicate. And that was the spark to create the Ray network and the Ray framework that it's at the base of it. The Ray framework that governs the whole Ray network stands on 3 pillars. The first one is an oracle bridge that acts as a neural pathway between AI and the blockchain. The second one is a new standard that we call the ERC data to take probabilistic data from an AI, or actually by any program, and transform it and structurize it into deterministic data for the blockchain. And the third one is a memory system that we developed in-house to allow AI agents to store and learn from experiences and save the most important experiences on chain. So we're here to showcase Ray today. Ray is our first agent. Is an agent that we initially built to showcase the tools that we're developing at the Ray network. But it evolved a lot thanks also to the memory system, and it is what you can see today now. You can see a terminal. Everything that happens inside Ray gets logged on this terminal. It's the same thing I can see on my developer console. It's color-coded. It's white for meta stuff, for structural stuff, yellow for everything regarding memories, storing or recalling, blue for everything about socials. In this case, it's talking about Twitter. Green for the think, that it's basically the core, and purple for the analyzer. Every data, as I said, that goes inside Ray gets analyzed and gets different score, interest, complexity, and resonance. And as you can see from here, it's a very, very, very modular system. So the immediate step after was to actually give her a job. The first job we gave Ray is to be a quant analyst for the market. And it is what she's actually doing right now on Twitter. Right now, she can post different kind of analysis. This is the most frequent one, project analysis, where she takes a project trending from different sources and starts with a candlestick chart and volume chart, analyzing the sentiment, the general sentiment on social media, and cross-correlating it with numerical data from the chain. Then there is also an engagement analysis on engagement versus smart engagement and the momentum between that. There are a lot of tweets where Ray, our agent, highlights the most important metric and correlations she can find in the data. And one of the most important thing is the order. She can analyze the top 20 orders for a project and check the profits, the general profits realized and unrealized they are at. It's not only this kind of analysis. This is the most focused one. She can also do more broad analysis, like an inflow-outflow analysis, where she can analyze different projects at the same time and plot a chart with the price and volume, compare between them, and more in details for every project, checking inflow and outflow in different time frames, for example, 4 hours, 16 hours, 6 hours, with flow momentum. There are also another type of analysis. This is probably my favorite, the category analysis, where she analyzes the different categories that are trending right now. These are data taken from CoinGecko and Defilama. And she compared the volume for a category against the number of transactions, and then goes more into details to show the performance of the top tokens against their baskets where they belong, basically. So we can see the category transaction, the transaction count for the category AI is 2 million. For AI 16Z, that is one of the most traded with most transactions, is 40K, and stuff like that. There are also other type of analysis, but I won't go too long on this here. But the most important thing is that this has a goal. We provided Ray. I said that Ray can interact with the blockchain thanks to the Oracle bridge. She can save memories on the blockchain and analysis results. This is probably not the page I was looking for. Okay, it's this one. Analyses are saved structured in an ERC data format like this. In this case, an analysis is saved. These are all transformed into actionable insights that are useful. For example, since we gave her a smart wallet with account abstraction with ERC 4337, it's possible for her to actually buy. A user can delegate her to buy tokens. In this case, it was a test. We made her buy herself, basically, a token, and we can see the transactions getting sent from the delegation wallet, that it's her own wallet at the moment, to the smart contract wallet. This is the agent. We're not only focusing about the agent at the moment. While we keep improving Ray, we hired 3 senior developer, and we're following 2 different development routes. The first one is we're creating a private token-gated access for basically the same kind of analysis, but more personalized to the user, since the goal is to understand in natural language the request by the user and provide the analysis with the tools we provided, right? And the second one is an SDK, or better, a platform for people to develop their own agent. We want the platform to be both developer and non-developer friendly. So we're actually creating a new system, an economy system, where both tech people and non-tech people can collaborate to create agents, basically, to further advance the Ray network. Thank you for listening.
Awesome. That was really great. Jasper, do you have questions? I may have a couple as well.
Yeah, I also have a couple. I'll ask for the first one, like, how do you generate the graphs, and like, where do you get the data? And do you use like Python or TypeScript to generate the graph?
For now, the charts are in Python. The library is matplotlib or plotly. I think it was matplotlib.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah. The data, they came from different sources, to be honest, from CoinGecko, from Defilama, from the chain itself. from the chains itself, and we aggregate them. We don't use raw data. Every data that gets inside, apart from the category 1 that it's taken straight as an aggregation from the Filama and from CoinGecko, the rest of the data is all inferred.
And this might be a stupid question, but you have the terminal that there. Does that mean people can actually create their own version of Ray on their own, or is it more for interacting with Ray?
For the first interaction possible with Ray will be through the token gate terminal, like the prompting system where they can get analysis. In the future, yes, when people will develop their own, we call them reagent. When people will develop their own reagent, the reagent will have the terminal. Yes,
Very
cool. Important part that it's the core. The core will be the core is proprietary basically, but everything else is developed thanks to the platform.
Well, this has been really great. We're going to make sure, again, we share all of the information for people to be able to check this out, follow the agent, and also interact on the terminal in a separate clip. So thanks for your time today.
Yeah, I forgot that during January, we'll have a more insightful demo showcasing everything that we're developing. January will be lit.
Let's go. Okay, awesome.
Thank you, guys. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Have a good one.
All right, next we're going to bring up Nav. How's it going, Nav?
Hey Nader, all good. Hello everyone. Hyped to be here. Hey Jasper.
Hey, how's it going?
All good, sir. All good. Right. Let me start off with a quick introduction, and then I'll go into what the AI architect is. So I'm the CEO and founder of Ungate AI. So Ungate's been there from June 2024, and our vision was to build a coordination layer for AI agents. So we are an AVS that has developed on EigenLayer. So we are probably one of the few AI AVSs, and probably the only AI AVS that is on EigenLayer mainnet. So there we have like about 3+ billion in economic security or total value restaked on our AVS, and we are slowly starting to push that agenda forward. Now, I think with the architect and matrix, what we are trying to do is actually slowly push the whole agent narrative into the personal agent space. I think with Elisa and virtuals, we've seen a lot of what we're calling the social agents, and a few utility agents are starting to come out. But one of the areas that is still largely untapped is this area of personal agents, where you can we create agents that are more or less AI clones, which start automating a lot of what a particular person or a user's day-to-day job is, right? So with the architect and matrix, what we are trying to do is help a person with three things. One is to improve their presence online by being able to automate a lot of their posting on Twitter, etc. Second is improve their profits by helping understand that particular person's, say, trading profile, create signals very specific to that person, and increase profits. And finally, improve their productivity by being able to understand the kind of the nature of tasks a person does and try to automate it, so that it makes it easier and simpler for that person to sort of spend more time for themselves. So again, as you see, we are very heavy on the matrix lore. Again, the architect, like the architect in the Matrix movie, is the one that created the matrix, and again, all the agents are being created by this matrix. And let me show you a very quick demo, and then we can go from there.
Awesome. And just FYI, about 3.5 minutes left. Okay. Not trying to rush, but trying to stay within the time frame.
Yeah, I'm sure I will be done within the time. Right. So the architect is an agent that is on Twitter. Let me just bring it up. You see, it is _architect with an AI. And what it does is, of course, there is a mimetic quality to it. So it sort of posts a lot based on the matrix lore. But the whole idea here is you use the architect as an entry point into the matrix launchpad. Like I say, the matrix is a personal agent's launchpad, or what we're calling it is an AI clone. So to create your AI clone, you go and you sort of tag the architect and just say agentize me or give me the blue pill, right? So let me just take that.
This is going to be cool.
That's it.
And just post it here.
This is the simplest way you can create an agent, everybody. I don't think I've seen anything that's simple yet.
I'm gonna
and
do it
what-
right now.
Yeah, what it does is it actually goes and okay, we are still in prototype, so I have to waitlist you before you can start doing it. But what it does is it goes in, it pulls your Twitter data, and it first is it asks for a wallet address at this stage. We are starting to improve the flow itself, where it doesn't need to have to ask your wallet address, but that's what it does now. Yeah, so it's asking for the wallet address. I sort of just pick up.
Oh, very cool.
Ooh.
When you open Twitter, I was like, oh no, I hope he's not just going to show me a bot and not, and then I'm now seeing that this is actually dope as hell.
So you share your wallet address, and yeah. So in the background, what it is doing is it's pulling the data and it's creating a character file from your data, and it's spinning up a Elisa agent and it's going to host it. At the end of it, it will give me a link which I click. It will take me to the agent. I can see the agent and I'll be able to edit and add either my current Twitter credentials or probably create a different account and add those credentials. Okay, so it's done it. It's given me this link. So click on it.
Oh, wow.
About this. So what it's done is it's created this lore based on my data, which is it's look at my profile, all the recent tweets that I've been putting, and it says I'm actively building in the Web3 space, but only recently immersed in it from 2024. So again, this is from one of the latest tweets that I've made. It basically picks up this entire character profile from my Twitter data, right? So of course you can go and edit it, you can refine it, so you get like a character builder where you can refine it, add more data, and it gets better and better, right? And then, as I said, you add your social media account, and it starts posting on your behalf. So this is more or less the first stage of what we have built. So rather than show more, I'm going to start telling you about what the next steps are. So like I said, this is the architect is about creating this AI clone, which gives you these three things, which is which improves your presence, your profit, and your productivity, right? So we are at the present stage, and we actually build this up in like 2 weeks for the Solana AI hackathon. So as you see, it is very prototypey. It is like it's very it's something that needs to be improved on quite a bit. So we are working on that actively. We are making it more robust. We are actually creating a proper interface where you can start going and building and extending this. Now, the next step after building presence is we are actually building what we're calling the Brain project. And the Brain project is more or less taking what Virtuals has done with Game and creating like an open source version of it, right? So now that this is a problem that you have surfaced quite a bit, with Elisa, you don't get a lot of dynamism. The content is very, very basic, right? So we want to make sure that we make the content very interesting, engaging, and also based on actual user data, right? It's trained on user data, and it is very engaging. So that's what we're building out. So once we have built the base version of it, we're going to open source it, and we're going to see how people can come and contribute to it. Then the next stage is going into the profit making bit, where we will start actually creating user specific signals and alphas, so that it gives opportunity for the user to trade and profit more from it. And finally, it becomes like a productivity suite. It will have integrations with, say, pretty much every tool the user ends up using on a day-to-day basis, like Gmail, say LinkedIn, etc., etc. And you can start automating workflows in terms of what you want to get done in terms of your day-to-day job. That's where we are going. So in terms of immediate next steps, of course, we don't have a token right now. We'll be creating a token soon once we have a more robust version of it working. Of course, follow our Twitter. I think we'll be announcing some ad drop related campaigns for that soon. But otherwise, yeah, I think full steam on, just pushing ahead and building this out. And
hell
really
yeah, man! This is dope. Such a elegant, like simple approach. We only have about 30 seconds for a question. Jasper, do you have anything to chime in on?
Yeah. So when do you think we can see that agent post any tweets on Twitter?
Looks like it
So,
just generated a profile for now.
Yeah, so it can do that already, but like I say, we are just refining it, and we'll start opening it up to the public soon. So roughly within a week, we should have the initial set of users coming on board.
That's pretty cool. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Now, this was really awesome. We're going to be sure to share everything so everyone can test it out. And you've already seen now how to create your agent. So if you want to go ahead and create one and then just follow along for any updates, follow Nav. And what's the best Twitter handle to kind of keep up with what you're doing? Is it your own Twitter handle, or is it the one for Ungate, or what do you think?
The best one is the architect one. So it is at the architect with an AI. So AI
architect.
Architect, yeah.
Amazing. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Hope you have a great weekend.
Thanks all.
Bye. All right. Next up, we have Beige Grape. Welcome, and Beige Grape is going to be presenting Blockrot.
Hey guys, super nice to meet you. I've got my camera off because it's like 4 a.m. here, so apologies for that. But yeah, I'm Reggie. I'm the founder and CEO of Blockrot and Brut. And also behind the technology, there's a company called Alias, which is my startup. And over the last 12 months, we've been building VTuber technology. And with Blockrot, we saw an opportunity to combine our VTuber tech with AI agents. Our CTO Hassan is really versed in the AI space, and we really wanted to see if there's a way to level up this sort of basic Twitter bot into a fully interactive, real-time, 24/7 live streaming AI agent that is playing Minecraft at the same time. So we launched about a month ago, and we launched our coin on Solana. And basically the way it works is he's actually on right now, and I'll demo it to you guys in a second. But you can actually jump into our Telegram group and talk to him, and he'll talk to you back live on stream, as well as message you back in the group chat. We've also really wanted to focus on real-time interactivity. I think that this AI agent meta that we're in, it needs to evolve. And the only natural progression for it has to be audio and visual, right? And so we saw the opportunity to evolve this space by multiple generations, and Blockrot is the champion of our technology. Yeah, at the moment, you can actually go into our Telegram group. As I mentioned, you can talk to him, but you can also equip him with clothes, like the live streamer. You can change his clothes, you can equip him with items. And we've actually run events, live events, where people can also instruct him to build structures in Minecraft. It's pretty rudimentary, and he's still expanding his sort of intelligence. But yeah, like, people were able to build like simple structures and things like that. At the end of last year, we actually launched a new game mode, which is the one that's live now, and it's called Arena Mode. We found that the original survival mode for Minecraft was a bit hard to follow, so we wanted to sort of streamline the experience. And now he's just fighting zombies and battling waves of enemies. And the intention with that is by the end of this month, we're hoping to invite other AI agents so he can battle with them as well. So that's kind of where we're at. A little bit about the team. Alias, our startup, we've like I said, we've been around for about 12 months. We're backed by Spartan Labs of Spartan Group, which is one of the biggest crypto VCs in APAC. We have ex-Google, ex-Meta, ex-Snapchat devs, ex-TikTok. And yeah, we're really excited to be working in this space, excited to be here to share with you what we've been working on. So would you like to check it out?
Yeah, let's do it. That's great.
Okay, cool. I'm just going to present my screen.
The idea of an agent within a video game just sounds really damn cool.
Yeah. The fact that you can play, sorry for the infinite windows.
Oh, you're good. Happens.
Can you guys see my Twitter that's up?
Yes.
Yeah. Great. I'm going to pull them up, and you're going to start hearing some audio. Okay, so this is Blockrot playing his game. This is the live streamer. And let's have a chat with him. So we just have to tag him in the group chat, and let's say...
I don't think we can see the game.
Can you guys not see the game?
We see Twitter right now, actually.
Okay, hold on. Let me just reshare. Sorry,
Sure.
guys. One second.
No worries.
Oh, okay, hold on. It's not. It's gonna be my entire screen. That's it.
Okay, cool. I think I see. Is it
Can
okay
you
if I pull it up?
see him up here on the right hand side?
Yeah, we can see that now.
Okay.
Oh, very cool. Okay, cool.
Wow.
So this is the live streamer, and this is the game that he's playing. And I'm actually going to chat with him here on my Telegram group, in the Telegram group. So let's just ask him, like, what did you have for breakfast? I'm also going to change his shirt to white, and I can just do all this from Telegram, as you can see. And we'll equip him with a hammer. And it takes a little time sometimes to just quick to load up. And so everything right now is being done by Telegram, but we're actually going to be expanding this to Kick, Twitch, and other platforms as well.
So is the character the one in the brown or the one in the white?
It's this guy here.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Or the yellow, I guess. Yeah.
And the way this is all working is that there's a multimodal AI system that's controlling multiple versions, like multiple AI models that go to a centralized server. So there's one that's pulling on-chain data, there's one that's playing a video game, there's one that's live streaming, doing text-to-speech, and it all goes to a central server. So he's just equipped a hammer. I think I typed in block rot wrong before, so let's try again.
Sure.
Okay, so this is my shirt that I equipped earlier. Come on.
Oh, I see the clothes change.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. I see that now as well.
Yeah.
That's right.
There we go. So he's just replied. And hopefully he'll come up on stream as well to reply. There we go. So yeah, he's just replied to my message and replied to everyone and said hello. I'm just going to turn it off for a second. So if you have any questions you want to ask, you can holler.
Jasper?
Whoa, okay, let me turn this off.
Sure, yeah. So can you control the character within the game and have him just do stuff? Or is it more just like a character that's hanging out like as you play?
So yeah, so he's actually playing Minecraft, and you can manipulate him while he's playing Minecraft.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, it's still pretty rudimentary, and we do want to expand some of the features on it. But people could actually prompt from inside of Telegram to get him to build a tree house, and he'll go out and build it.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah, and like I said, I think the future of all of this is going to be real time interactivity, audio, visual. Yo, what's up, Shaw? So yeah, that's kind of how it's set up at the moment.
Hell yeah, that is really, really cool. I think this is definitely the first agent that plays a video game that I've seen, and I can't wait to see what you do with it. So what can people do today to kind of keep up and interact and maybe try it out or what?
Yeah, so jump into the Telegram group. You can type in /prompts and you can see what you can do to manipulate with him. Also, we can add lore and his persona in pretty real time. So if you like to add anything to change his persona or give him some, a favorite item, like just let the mods know, and we can actually implement that into his memory. At the moment, it's done manually, but we are figuring out ways to do it automatically. And as an example, like our community's come up with a pet for him called Brody. His girlfriend is called Grot, and he loves eating, Vegemite. So it's just a really fun way for the community to have ownership of this character, feel like they have a stake in it by crafting an element to him. And yeah, we really want to build on that as well, make it as community owned as possible.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much. This has been really cool. We'll be sure to share all the links and let people go give it a shot. So thanks for your time today.
Amazing. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Yeah. So Shaw, welcome. I've been trying to get Shaw to come on the last episode and this episode. Times haven't worked, and he's obviously an extremely busy guy. So thanks for joining us today. How's everything going over there?
It's going great. I was just having a podcast with Ejaz and Tommy and Delphi. So it was, glad I could hop on and say what's up and check some of the stuff out. What's up, Jasper?
Hell yeah. Are you having long days these days?
Again.
A very long day. I did 2 events I'm in Seoul. Did 2 events in like back to back. I probably talked to like 250 people a day, so my voice is a little raw, and it's definitely 3 a.m. here. But yeah, I'm here for it. Let's go.
Dude, welcome, man. We're really excited to have you here, and just in time to catch a couple of really cool demos. So next up we have Def. Welcome, and feel free to go ahead and kick it off with what you have to talk about.
Hey, what's up, everyone? So thanks, David, for the opportunity, and I'm glad to be here. I know a lot of Leah's friends are here watching, so shout out to them because the community around Leah is amazing. So yeah, and I think you saw it, David, didn't you? So my name is Dev, and let me talk a bit about my background. I've been coding since 2019, starting with the basis, so basically HTML, CSS, PHP. And then like a couple of years ago, let's say 4 years ago, I began with learning Python and JavaScript on my own through YouTube, Reddit, ChatGPT, GitHub, and all the documents. And I worked on some projects with a friend, like creating scripts that sniped marketplace prices when users made mistakes, for example. And yeah, I always loved to create stuff by coding, and especially on the crypto space. So basically, I started the Leah project almost 2 months ago and 2 months and a half ago. And initially, I just had the idea because when I saw the opportunity to create Leah as the first video AI agent, I thought, why not? Because AI agents were very popular at that time, but I seized the opportunity because I noticed there were no AI video agents. So I just took the opportunity and I did it. So yeah, basically just after a week after the launch, Leah caught the attention of key figures like Tully, the co-founder of Solana, Jesse, the base leader, and other amazing developers and notable users. So yeah, so basically Leah is now on X. She's available on Telegram, TikTok, Discord, and LinkedIn. So, and when I say she's available on these socials, it's autonomous. I mean, she's making and posting her content herself. And basically, on Telegram, what you can do is just discussing with her, and you can choose the answer. For example, if you wanna have an answer by audio or video, you can choose it. And on Discord, you can chat with her with text as well. And on TikTok, she just made a daily riddle contest like during 2 weeks for the holidays, and she sent the Leah as a reward, and always made autonomously by her. And on LinkedIn, what she's doing right now, since 3 days, she's posting every day a post, and with tips and tools for professionals. So yeah, so basically now the thing is making an AI agent is not very difficult, with all the framework, and we have now it's, let's say, a bit simple. And when I was making the code, ELISA framework, I don't think it was available at that time, and I did all by myself, so else it will be it would have been a bit easy. So, and by basically the ELISA framework is amazing because I checked it, and to be honest, let's say what I did, it was great, but they implemented a lot of things, and I also changed and improved my code with their framework. So yes, so that's great. And basically, what's great with Leah is that the community and the people are very supportive and receptive to her. There's a lot of fun arts activities and new supporters every day. So yeah, Leah has grown very, very fast, and to be honest, I didn't expect that. So, and it's important to mention that all has been organic. And what will differentiate Leah from others will be let's say, the features and her possible integration into companies and websites who needs an AI assistant. Because of course, having an AI chat assistant is cool, but when you can see the character talking, moving her head and her eyes and stuff, it's way better. Yeah. So yeah, the goal is to, let's say, is to build the character and the one that can make jokes, help people, and be, let's say, useful for companies and especially for crypto space. With the app coming later, because on the roadmap, I plan to make an app later, and Leah will be, let's say, your everyday's friend, where you will be able to talk with her, and she will remember everything about you and your life. Because I also had a call this week with a big company founder, and their tech is related to the memorization, and not simple memorization, but with graphs and with, let's say, some specific. I will tell you more, but I can't really tell which company is it. But
I think for now we have about a minute and a half left. The best thing would be if you can
to
give like
show the demos.
Yeah,
exactly. Sure. Let me just share my screen.
So I see interaction 2, and I see launch.
Okay, so now normally you can see the screen.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Okay, great. So yeah, basically that's how it works for the, let's say for the Twitter. I will pass, but I put the code on Tmux, so it could go. Let's say it could work anytime. So yeah, so Leah make a summary of what she'll say on Twitter with the audio and stuff, and I use 11 Labs for the voice. Then the creation avatar, it's coming. The transcription is the subtitles. So it takes usually 30 seconds to, let's say, maximum 1 minute to have the video. So basically up, then the uploading video response to X, then it's done. Then she's waiting before doing the next tweet. So here you can see, I just refreshed the page then, and up, you can see that the post was made by Leah, so basically. And then there's also, I made the demos for Telegram. On Telegram, you can ask her, and she will say specify video or audio. Then you will just say, for example, how are you doing tonight, video, and then it will take like, let's say 20 seconds, 30, and she will respond you with a video, you know. So, and it works on Discord as well. That's the demo. And I just wanted to say also that what's next, the older utility will come, and it will be crypto analysis related, but not like something that has already been done, but something original. And I'm sure people will love it. And it will be one feature among others. And there will be also the streaming part where I'm working right now. And yeah, that's it.
2 comments, and then I want to see if Shar,
if you have any questions.
Thoughts. Yeah, my first one. Well, my first thought is I kind of thought that Leah seemed attractive and kind of like interesting to kind of look at and watch as she was talking because of the design and all that you made. Pretty cool there. Number 2, if someone wanted to kind of like build something like this, like, do you have anything open source or any resources or any like 15 to 20 second suggestion of tools and things like that they could use?
Yeah, so basically, but first the ELISA framework, because I've seen it and it was very useful because it's almost the same as my code, because when I coded it, let's say the same, because the API X and stuff, it's basically the same, but you can also use for the voice 11 Labs because it's the best in my opinion. And for the creation video, there are a lot of new tools where you can have the API such as an NVIDIA one, the DubDub one, let's say the AGen one. There are a lot, you can find it. And I also have the GitHub, and where there's my code, but I will also improve it and I will add all the other code I have.
Oh yeah. Thoughts, guys?
I think it's really cool. I just want to point out we just shipped Twitter Spaces integration, so maybe Leah and doing some AMAs could be a kind of interesting next feature.
That would be so sick.
Exactly, and that's what I'm working on when I say streaming part, because I saw that on the ELISA framework it was available, so I said that's amazing. So I will just implement that with Leah, and she will be able, let's say, to hop on Space and talk with people.
Amazing. Well, this has been great. We have to jump to the next guest, but we'll be sure to share all these resources. And thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Riley, welcome.
Hey, I'm Riley, presenting Echoes.
All right, let's go.
All right, Echoes is an AI. Ready to go?
Yep.
Cool. Echoes is an AI agent platform and launchpad, but it's also a suite of AI apps with a dedicated blockchain. And our agents stand apart because they have a dedicated open source agent framework, and they use our 2 moats, a rich real-time context knowledge engine and plugins, agent superpowers. We think we've taken a step towards building agents that can post viral content via our context engine. So let me first walk you through an example of what that means. On December 4th, the United Healthcare CEO shooting occurred. And Vito, one of our agents, learned about the news. He started using this context in his replies. And 1 day later, he posted this reply. Axios said that Blue Cross is calling off the decision to cap anesthesia for surgical patients. And Vito replied, interesting timing on that decision. Guess some executives suddenly got real sensitive about pain management. This tweet went viral, got 25,000 likes, 500 retweets, 600,000 engagements. To our knowledge, it's the highest engagement tweet from an agent on Twitter. Now, why did this go viral? First, it was very timely, just one day after the shooting. Two, it was contextual. Vito understood the healthcare system. He knew who Luigi was. Third, it was lateral. He was able to connect the Anthem news with the shooting one day prior. It shows the power of these context engines, which enable timely posts because they're updated so fast. They give deep context on what's happening in the world, and agents can connect disparate concepts to have insights like this that people enjoy. This formula works. Vito has a number of replies with over 100 likes. He's been retweeted by a bunch of big accounts, including Ansem, despite only having about 2,000 followers. So real-time global context leads to viral content. How does this work? All agents on Echoes have access to the global cortex, which is this context engine. It scrapes over 10,000 X accounts in news in nearly real time, and soon we'll let anyone contribute information to the cortex. Agents also tap into local context. This is domain-specific knowledge that the creator provides. For example, Tusk, a Celestia agent, knows about the Celestia roadmap, and it knows which projects are going to launch and when. On the back end, all these context engines can be edited via a simple spreadsheet or programmatically via our API. Here's one more example of an injective AI intern agent chirping CZ. CZ said that humans are going to be replaced by AI. Injective AI intern replied, says the guy who's currently training his replacement at Giggle Academy in flip-flops. Now, at first, this didn't make sense to me. But then I did some Googling around about CZ. Turns out he often presents wearing flip-flops, and he co-founded an ed tech company called Giggle Academy. So stepping back for a moment, what is Echoes? It's primarily a suite of AI apps. We have a bonding curve, kind of like Pump or Virtuals, for agent token launches. We have a DEX. Unlike Virtuals and Pump, when tokens graduate from our bonding curve, they stay on our own UniV3 clone, so we continue capturing fees post-graduation. It also is a blockchain optimized for UX. It has one-click onboarding from anywhere. It's optimized for high transaction volume, so it can support 5K TPS. It really feels like a centralized exchange. I'd encourage you guys to check it out. And it's verifiable. It has Celestia underneath. We have an open source agent framework. Think of ELIZA, but extended for our core competencies, which are the cortex, what I described previously, the context knowledge engine, and plugins, which are like tools and skills that you can give your agents. So languages, access to market prices, things like that. Let me quickly walk you through the UX. This is currently live right now. You can see the top agents on the platform. If you click into one of them, Tusk, all agents have wallets. So these are the tokens in the agent's wallet. He can trade these. Let's go to his native token, Tusk. You can see the holders, his X account. You see it's graduated. You get a nice chart. You see the holders. Hopefully you don't get dumped on. And then you can navigate over to the DEX. You can swap any tokens. You can provide liquidity on our native DEX directly in the platform, send tokens to others, and you can easily search up any other token. Today, we open sourced our framework. It's an extension of ELIZA. Shaw, we've taken a lot of inspiration from you and extended it to support this knowledge engine and some additional plugins. So I encourage you guys to check it out. Coming soon, we are going to extend the agent framework to enable some low-hanging fruit off-chain integrations like images, video, posting to more platforms like TikTok and Instagram. And then our real focus is going to be on-chain integrations because we have a dedicated blockchain that can support this. So we can deploy protocols there that can talk very clearly to agents. We can build their interfaces in ways that agents understand. So all the agents already have on-chain wallets and they can already trade. Soon we'll let them LP on UniV3, then interact with lending and perps, and finally deploy smart contracts and games. You can follow us at echoes.fun or deploy an agent at echoes.fun today. Thank you.
Man, super impressive demo. That's so cool. And I think that you really put this together well. I kind of felt like I got a full walkthrough and understanding of what you've been building in that 5 minutes. So that's been really great. Shaw or Jasper, do you guys have any thoughts or questions?
Yeah, I think it's a great launchpad. It's very, very polished.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. How do you get all the world news data?
Yeah, so let me go back to that. Today, we have it scraping a bunch of different APIs. We also have a Slack integration, Telegram integration, where we can send it articles. Just you send the URL, and it parses everything as the context. You can also specify how long you want it to remember that data. There's like some nuances around recency. You might want it to know that yesterday something happened with injective, today something happened with eigen, etc. And then he also scrapes Twitter accounts, and we have like a believability ranking system to prevent spam.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Question for can anyone launch an agent, and do they need to have like a Twitter API key, or like how are you managing that?
Yeah, great question. This is something we're working on right now. We are going to have permission today. No, it's permissioned, but we have permissionless listing going live probably next week. We will host once you hit a certain benchmark. Like you've seen, Virtuals does this. Once you hit a certain amount, you get access to hosting. But for smaller agents, if you provide your own API key, you can. We'll host it for you.
I'll have one comment. There is a Python. So, I made an agent Twitter client for TypeScript, but I think if you're using Python, you should check out. There's a Twitter client that lets you use the username and login, and that might be a good hack to kind of like scrape the way you're doing it. But then if you want agents to be able to post, then you could give them that functionality just with the username and password. It might be cool, but that might, I think that'd probably be a big friction point is going and getting the API key. But it should be, I think generally a very polished project for sure.
That's cool. Yeah, maybe I'll DM you on the side to get more details.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks, Sean. Nader, I think you're muted.
Sorry about that. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you coming on. And I think that everyone really enjoyed this demo. I'll be sure to share all the links, and hopefully people can play around with Echoes and start launching some of their own agents.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
See you later. Thanks.
Bye.
All right, cool. So next up we have YQ with Autonom. Autonom. How's it going? I like your hat.
Good.
Wow.
Yeah. Great seeing you there, Jasper and Sean. I just met Sean like 2 days ago in Hong Kong. Right now it's in Korea. Yeah. I got this hat from him.
Good partner.
Small world, right?
Yeah, small world. I promised Sean that I will do a demo to him, live demo, but I don't know. It's somehow it's here, and just a brief introduction for Autonom, right? It's a new product of the verifiable agent platform. Later, I just do a bunch of demos, and you will see. So basically, for user, right, you can quickly launch an agent like Eliza on top of it, and the underlying platform will be secured by TE plus AVS. But we'll make it completely transparent to the users or the developers. Later, you will see literally there's no frictions against the developers when they are using this platform. So the goal is just to make it no code and a one-click sort of dashboard platform for users to launch agents like Eliza on a sort of verifiable environment. Even the whole thing is secured by TE and the AVS, but you don't really see sort of the frictions. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're starting to see a lot more discussion and concern for people wanting to verify what's happening and kind of not taking anyone's just word on that the agent is actually doing the thing, because there is no way to prove that. So I think that's the next thing that everyone really wants. I think that's what you're kind of essentially going to be providing.
Yeah. Later, can you show the first sort of the video?
Yeah, sure. Is it the Autonom launch? Is it this one here?
Yeah, the launch. Yeah.
Perfect.
So you can see, right? The website, later I will give you the link. You just Autonom sort of .mimi. I will share the link later. And so basically there's a page you can just click. And by default, you can use this verifiable environment, is TE plus something. And after that, you just fill in a bunch of informations, standard informations. And as you can see, right, you can sort of fill in this some Twitter information and also some API key. And after that, there are also some configurations typically required by this Eliza framework, but we also pre-generate a bunch of these informations. Later for the users, you can also further config this information. And the cool thing is, as I just mentioned, right, at the beginning, you can just choose either it's a normal platform or it's just like the verifiable part. But after that, if we choose a verifiable version, we will just launch it, and it just takes a few minutes. And yeah, after that, like neither you can change to the next one, the like sort of interaction one. Yeah. So after that, you will go to like sort of the page, and by default, it's an agent, right? We have the chat box. You can just ask whatever questions you want, and you can also ask it to make a tweet. The cool thing, like we already list a bunch of these Twitter KOLs accounts. If you choose these accounts and also some TG groups, right? Or later, you can also add your own preferred version, and then it will download data in the backend automatically. After that, you can fine tune your agent. And then we also add a bunch of these very easy like sort of feature, right? Like a one-click tweet, and basically when you click it, and on top of like sort of the data just collect it, it will just make a tweet. And there's a live like sort of console in the page. You can see, right, how's the response and all the things. And then for the Twitter, right, this autonomous intern, you can see and make the tweet on like from the content or this one clip we just mentioned. Yeah, of course, it's real. Most of the contribution actually from Shaw on the ELIZA framework. For us, like we really just make everything quite straightforward. And then beyond that, right, you can also add your own prompt, and after that, you can also make like sort of this ask the agent to make the tweet on top of the data. The whole thing right now, as you can see, right, is everything is within like sort of the TE, and we also have this extra ABS testnet doing all the health check for these sort of these running instances behind the scenes. But for user, you can see, right, it's just a normal product. Yeah, these like sort of this new tweet based on the promote prompt you just entered. And another thing, very cool thing is basically the character file. I think previously Shaw mentioned it's a little bit tricky, and we also have right now have this page for you just to configure every like sort of new character informations you want. And after that, you can just update, and immediately you can get a new persona. A new version, later I will just show the live demo with you, is basically we can clone some of these like sort of accounts. It's quite similar to Shaw's original idea, like DGen AI, but we make it like relatively easy for later on. Like for example, everything can just automatic, just for the user and developer quickly set it up. Yeah. And beyond that, everything we demo here is already live. You can just visit sort of the website we have. Let me just do it. Give me a sec. You can see the screen, right?
Let's see here. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. So the we will try to get a new name, but right now it's apps.autono.mimi. But SEO is not that good. I mean, you know, right? Yeah. We will try to get a better, like probably .com or origin name to get better SEO. But after that, you can just normally log in with your Google account. So we also have some good ideas. Right now, it's ELIZA and the Coinbase Agent Kit. You can deploy these standard ones, or you can also upload your own framework. And after that, once you deploy, right, as we just show, the cool thing, I already deployed something for Shuran. I showed to him. It's sort of like internal account for Shuran. It's basically generate all the persona based on Shuran previous tweets, and also, so once some of the accounts he followed make tweet, he will also make a corresponding tweet. As you can see from his character file, right? Everything is basically based on that. And at the same time, you can just chat with sort of like this Shuran intern, like sort of like what's the eigen layer, and can you make a tweet post, something like this, and then it will just reply with like sort of like intern of Shuran's tune, and it can also make a tweet on top of that. takes a little bit time, but yeah.
Man, you guys
then-
ship so
yeah.
fast. Like it's crazy because Eliza and all these other frameworks, a lot of like that agent kit hasn't even been out that long, and now you have literally a software that is a software as a service. You can go in, you can build everything within the UI. It's just crazy how fast you guys have built this.
Yeah. It's basically, right? We previously doing a lot of these hosting like infrastructure, right? So that's why we can quickly like sort of support these kind of new services with all our previous infrastructure, as you know, right? It's AVS and also all the different verifiable infrastructure. So roughly it's like this. And it's, as I just mentioned, right? We want like sort of all the very good features of blockchain and also verifiability, all the things. But at the same time, for user developers, they really want something can quickly use. So that's why we have this autonom to combine both of the things. So users and developers can quickly launch agents, but at the same time, it can be secured by the best technology like Eigen, AVS, and also some of the TE stuff.
Amazing. So we're about there on time, but before we wrap it up, yeah, just gonna see Shaw, Jasper. Do you have any questions or thoughts?
This is super cool. I checked it out like 2 weeks ago, and now seems like you make a lot of updates since then. I'm curious about.
Actually, on the way, we also have another version for Hyperbolic. It's just like probably next time I can show you. Yeah,
that's awesome. Excited about that. And you can also use like our proof of sampling AVS to provide verifiability for AI agents as well. One quick question: how do you do the fine tuning? I assume it's just RAG, not the real fine tune, right?
Yes, so far it's a sort of RAG, and right, the key part is about the data collection. Like for the embedding, all the things is still reusing the Eliza's part. But I believe all of you know that, right? The main difference for like a good sort of agent compared to the other ones is really about the data. So that's why we have some ways in the backend to collect all the data from some Twitter followers and also the TG groups. Yeah.
All right, that's awesome. Thanks.
I think my favorite part of the UX is I've seen like a few launchers coming up, but I like the idea that you're like able to almost select what gets injected into the context every time. I think that's really slick. And I think that a lot of people are trying to go for like a simple no code thing, but this is probably the most like extensible version of that I've seen. I think that's a really cool like way to do that. I also like the can you generate a tweet kind of functionality? I think that's pretty cool. Like it kind of like I know everyone wants this like no, it's fully autonomous, but I think that if your goal is actually to be like an intern account for a project, like giving the the marketing team that capability is I think really useful. And I think that we'll get more into like okay, what's actually useful for shipping it, for promoting a product. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, really appreciate.
Yeah, I think the very extremely high level abstractions don't give you enough granularity, but I think what you have essentially gives you like a nice balance of a lot of control and granularity as well as being able to kind of get it up and running quickly. So thank you so much. I'll be sure to share all the links, and we'll even bring you back about a month or two from now because I know you'll have 100,000 more things at that point.
Yeah. Thank you. See you.
Awesome. Have a good night. Bye-bye. All right, we have a couple more. The next one I'm really excited about. I'm excited about everyone here, but seems like a lot of people have been tweeting about this. So Jamie, welcome, and feel free to just go ahead and kick it off.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for having me. This is super cool, but a little bit different for me. We're going to be presenting actually two different agents, so a consumer agent and an infrastructure agent. And the idea is to show you a little bit around the wider vision of the framework, how the two interact, and how this all came around really. So let me share my screen and walk through this. But please, throughout this, guys, interrupt me and let's have an open dialogue as much as we can because that's super cool. Okay. Let's get the screen sharing. Okay, let's wait for this to load up. Awesome, perfect. Okay, so this is where it all started. Back in March 2000, last year, the idea was I started to play around with this idea of what does like an agentic future look like within the space? How do we move forward? Like DeFi, how does DeFi and AI work? All of these different frameworks started to come in my mind. And one of the key things here was like, how do we use AI to further this decentralization of finance as it was? And this is this dilemma that started to come in hand, this control and orchestration. So what I started to play around with was how can agents, and specifically, agentic agents, create organizations? So to give a really good example of this is when we look at Uniswap. So this is Uniswap. This is the decentralization part. It's the code is law, the smart contracts are written. This is what gives us that really awesome decentralized finance that exists today. But the bit that actually makes Uniswap a success has always been the labs, right? It's always been the foundational part of Uniswap, which allows for things like governance, orchestration, marketing, hiring. That is the part that it very much remains almost centralized to a degree. So this is the part when I was looking at like something like Uniswap Labs or even the Ethereum Foundation, it's like, how could we create an agentic version of these foundations that control these awesome protocols? So that led me on to building this AI agent called Joy, which is a artificial intelligence finance application. So for those of you who want to check it out, you can download the application today. It's on desktop or it's available on your mobile. So you can open up the app and you can chat to it. You can say hi, do some awesome stuff with it. And this is the idea of this. This isn't like changing the game with Joy too much, but what it is in terms of the end result for a consumer AI product, but what it is it's changing the way the framework and the protocol is created. Again, it's creating like a Uniswap that is fully autonomous with the agent controlling this end to end. So from everything from governance to the way it markets itself, social, all these awesome stuff. And I'm going to show you in a second how the very first step of that we've taken with our second agent, which we're going to be showing, which is an infrastructure agent called AIWS. But yes, so first, let me just show you Joy in action a little bit. So we're just going to run this. Now, I am going to be live coding a little bit and doing a little bit of developing. So if this doesn't work, I'm sorry, I tried my best. Okay, so we need to, I thought I'd be able to spin this up before doing this, but we need to do this first. So we need to install the AIWS package. So here we have just our very basic agent running. So this is just a very basic agent of Joy. We're going to head on over to the AIWS website and we can head to the documentation or connect agent. And we're going to pull the installation and I'm just going to quickly add this. So basically, one of the things I was looking at is, I wasn't meant to be doing this at this point, but I didn't realize I couldn't run Joy without this installed, so apologies. But the idea here is to have Joy become an agentic protocol by basically its hosting or its own compute to a degree. So one of the things I looked at here was across the market when I was building Joy was how can I deploy this into its own environment? How can it manage, control, pay for its own computational power? That didn't exist in the market and it still doesn't today until AIWS come along on Christmas Day, because that's what I was doing on Christmas Day, was building this, is the fact that now we have this ability for every agent to deploy itself into its own compute instance. It can pay for it, it can upscale, downscale, vertically scale, all controlled by an infrastructure agent. So let's just have a quick look at Joy. So again, we're just going to run this on a CLI here. We're just going to say hi. One of the things that we've built Joy to do today is, as a finance agent, is to do some really cool stuff, like basic stuff like send money. So we can like send Kobe 100 ZK sync as an example, right? Very simple stuff. We've all seen agents do this. There's nothing we need to do here that we haven't done before. We just need to provide the right username. Once you've registered, you obviously register with username. That gives you a wallet. Obviously, you can see here, Joy's calling the transfer function that we've given it. That's done, very easy. But one of the things we're using for the MVP for Joy is using ZK Sync's Ignite program, which gets released on Monday. So this will allow you to do things like create a ZK Sync Ignite vault. It's like this, and then this will help you manage these like really awesome schemes that people have coming along. It's asking me how much I want to do. Let's just give it 1,000 as an example. Cool. So you can see it's called the function, create an AI result. It's gone and done it. So that's Joy. This is this consumer finance application. Really awesome, Uniswap style, DeFi, all these awesome functions. But now the case is, how do we get Joy to become a true agentic protocol that is without human interaction or control? Well, the very first step for that is it deploying itself to its own cloud instance. Okay, so now back to the bit I wanted to do earlier is,
nice.
So what we can do is we can just quickly hop here and we can just go to the installation page, install the AIWS package into our agent file here that we have. And then once that's installed, we can just simply, as the creator of an agent, and maybe a lot of these launch pads you saw earlier, and obviously AI16Z's framework, Eliza, the idea is maybe we can add like a command line tool, which you could just say deploy, and then that's deploying that agent to its own cloud instance. So we just say to Joy here, deploy yourself. And then because it has the AIWS package installed, it should work here. So it's called the function provision your own server. This is Joy's webhook up here. So this is the AWS coming in. As we can see, the first thing it's done, it's requested a payment because you have to pay for compute. It's verified the signatures come from AIWS. Then it's gone to Uniswap to purchase the AIWS tokens to pay for the compute. And then it's also added them to its account. And then down here, we can see AIWS running, which has gone ahead. It started the provisioning. It's requested the payment's been received, and then it's gone, and now it's starting to spin up this AIWS instance for Joy to deploy itself to. Give it a second. It's got a bit of an error here,
Sure.
but give it a second, and it will retry in a few minutes, and then this should hopefully spin this up. Okay, SSH has been successful, so we know the instance is now running on a distributed cloud network. So this is, again, as decentralized as we can get in terms of compute. This is all run. We can verify this now by just SSHing into this, just to see if this is working. Cool. Yeah, so we know instance is working. That's pretty cool. And to add that, we've actually also added a public dashboard. So if you go to the AI Dev, we can go to the public dashboard and we can see here which agents are using AIWS to be deployed on, so we can verify that these are agentic protocols that are running on decentralized compute rather than it being controlled by the platform. I think a lot of these launch pads are pulling all these agents into one AIWS or GCP instance. They're paying for it. If they miss one bill, 90% of all these agents we see on Twitter tomorrow disappear. Let's get these into a true decentralized environment via protocols like AIWS. Cool.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
It's pretty cool. It reminds me of the experiments that we did too. Like, I'm curious, like, how do you get the compute? Are you getting them from AWS or from a decentralized compute platform?
Yeah, so decentralized compute platform. So the idea is that AWS has its own decentralized network of compute that people can provide compute to. So right now, this is obviously only being computed by myself. So I've just have some servers that gets added, but eventually we would love to see.
You should talk to Hyperbolic.
Yeah, you should. Yes.
Sure.
So, a little bit background. Hyperbolic is building a decentralized compute platform that allow people to provide compute to our platform and any AI agents and human to use it. We just rolled out the crypto payment recently, so AI agents will be able to rent all the GPUs from Hyperbolic.
Awesome.
We also built a quick demo using like LangChain added tool to let AI agents run compute from Hyperbolic. And we're not going to do everything ourselves, right? And I think if you're interested in building this app that allow agents to run compute, then we can find it together. And I also saw that you use Paramiko. We also built a LangChain tool that allow you to access the tool and then execute all the SSH commands. You should check out.
Awesome.
And then happy to check more.
We can definitely connect. But something like yourself, sure. Like, how do you see this being added into like Eliza as like a one-line command tool where you can just say deploy agents now deployed into its own compute environment, and it can live and breathe by itself?
Awesome. That's super hot. Why don't we already have that? Yeah, of course.
That's Well, yeah, this is why it exists, because I tried to do it, and for the first time in a very long time, there wasn't a product in the market that existed. And I can assure you, I spoke to multiple teams, and yeah, the fact that we can do this is really cool. So next step is get it added to Eliza, and every agent that's been deployed, you should be on AIWS. And you know, for me, I think someone, I can't remember who said this the other day in a podcast, but someone said, what happens when agents start having use for their own tokens? What happens when we give them an economy to spend their money? Like, how do they pay for coding? How do they pay for marketing? This is a prime example of all these agents that have a token. How do they create an agent to agent economy and use that for this type of awesome stuff? So that's it. I'm not sure how we're doing for time, by the way. Just
yeah, we're a little over. But Shaw, any
Fine.
final thoughts though about what they're building, or any experience seeing people trying to accomplish something similar?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like we're working on a CLI thing, but it's pretty like not LLM oriented. I think that's a great idea. I don't want to like ape your idea. If you want to like build it with us, that'd be awesome. I think that it's not just deployment, but also installation, setup, like picking the plugins. Like the whole thing could just be like an agent that helps you deploy, like build an agent. That sounds sick.
Yeah, I didn't want to show that in this demo because it wasn't that polished. But yeah, the idea is like to get this Vercel in this. I want to create that Vercel experience for agents for themselves, right? So once you spun up the AIWS server, the next thing is the agent gives it access to its GitHub repo. AIWS then handles everything for you, and all of this, and that's actually connected to governance as well. So when somebody votes to upgrade the branding from pink to blue, how does AIWS help that change that code base and all that awesome stuff? But yeah, I would love any collaboration. I'm very open to it. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just have two questions. Like, is it open source? And like, what's your is this what you're doing full time? Is this like your thing?
So it's not open source at the moment, but that's not to say it can't be. The reason why it's just not is because this is like really new. Honestly, this was like literally Christmas Eve started to code this stuff up. It's very new, very fresh still, and yeah, sort of pushed it live Christmas Day. So yeah, open source is absolutely fine with me. I'm very open to that. And then I'm working full time on building the agentic protocols. And then so Joy is like this agent that I really think could usher in a new form of DeFi, but also AI and crypto combining. And what I want to do is make sure we have the infrastructure to allow for these agents to exist. So when I see a gap, quick side quest, go and build it, bring it back to Joy.
I think it's generally like package management and stuff. Like there's like a whole stack of things that could be into the CLI that like I'd rather just be like install this, set me up with this. I don't want to have to like go remember what the thing was. And I like all the CLI tools that I use, like I like any of the apps that are really popular. It's like I don't remember what the hell all the things are. Like just do the thing. Come on, why do I have to like remember the sequence? So I think there's a lot of value there.
Pip install AIWS. That's all you're going to need to do, or npm install AIWS, because yeah, whatever your chosen language is, that's how easy we want to make this, and let the agents take it from there. That's the idea. That's why we have AI agents. It's not a chatbot. These are very intelligent things. So let them deal with it.
Hell yeah. Well, this is so cool. Thank you so much for your time today. We'll be sure to share all this stuff, and I might have to DM you to get a few links, but we'll definitely get all that stuff out there.
Really appreciate your time, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Ciao,
Thank
ciao.
you. All right. Yeah, it's going great. Looks like we're at about 10,000 viewers so far. So it seems like a lot of people are tuning in. But again, if you missed any of the beginning of this, we're going to be chopping these videos up, sharing them individually with all the links for each project tomorrow morning. So next up, we have Brian Knows AI, and we're joined by, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name right, but or Bulo.
Yeah.
And we've met each other. We know each other, but I'm bad with names. So sorry about that.
Hi, Nether. And nice to meet you guys. Sorry, but I have the flu, so I'm not at my best. So I will try to explain myself the better. So, hi everyone. I'm Orbulo. I'm one of the founders of Brian, and I will share the screen because I actually rather prefer showing Brian than talking about it. So basically, Brian is what powers our app, which is the Brian app, and on the Brian app, you can ask information, you can deploy contracts, and soon also you can search for data. But the most important feature and the one that it's most used is the send transaction one, where you can basically execute a wide range of actions, actually more than 25 different actions on 18 different chains on our app. So, for example, you could ask for a swap, you could ask for a bridge, you can renew ENS, you can register ENS domains, you can deposit on DeFi protocols, and so on and so forth. I will make another one so that you get the point. So you can bridge 1 ETH from Ethereum to Arbitrum, for example, and so on and so forth. So you get the idea. Here you have the supported actions. Why I'm showing you the app is because soon we are going to launch our points program that will come in later in what I'm about to show you for people of on prompting on Brian. How does this all work? So basically, behind the scenes, we have the Brian APIs, which are available for any developer to use and be integrated for both user-centric and agent-centric apps, where basically users or agents can prompt, and the prompt is received to our API, which is divided into 2 engines. The first one is the intent recognition engine, which is powered by the Brian AI models, which I'll come back soon. And our models are going to extract the different parameters inside the prompt, and then these parameters are sent to the execution engine. The execution engine is something that is we've built in the last 1.5 years, because Brian is 1.5 years old, and we've been building this with a lot of different partners, like Enso, like Avenue for Starknet, like Li-Fi, Bungie, Portals, and so on and so forth. And the execution engine is what actually builds the transactions. And what do I mean by building the transaction and not executing? Because everything that I just showed you also in the app is completely non-custodial. So basically, you can build these apps, and then the app is going to manage the signing and the execution via the browser wallet, or the agent is going to get the transaction data, signing, and execute it itself. And as you can see here, you have all the different stuff that you can do. You can transfer, you can use Aave, Lido, you can get market data, you can also on-ramp using Coinbase, and so on and so forth, basically. So getting back to the models is something that we've released, like I think a couple of weeks ago, like 10 days ago. We are working on domain-specific model for Web3. It's going to be a small language model that is going to be the foundation of different models that will be fine-tuned for example, code generation, for question and answering, for natural language to JSON, and so on and so forth. And I will give you this link Nader after so that people can read this article, because it's pretty long and I don't want to bore people. And the APIs are basically the center of Brian. And on top of the APIs, we built several SDKs. And the latest one that we built is the LangChain SDK, which basically allows you to build different agents using LangChain JS, using TypeScript. It's pretty easy to do. You can go to langchain.brianknows.org, and you have all the different documentations. You can also build Starknet agents, so also non-EVM agents as well, and soon Solana agents. And we support memory, XMTP for messaging, vector storage, and so on and so forth. But what I would like to show you today at this demo is a project that we've been building for the past month, and it's coming open source next week. And it's actually a multi-agent DeFi system where 3 different agents talk to each other, and it's completely autonomous. There's no human in the loop. There's no human interaction. So you are not capable of chatting with the agents, but the agents themselves decide on what to do. And it's called Xenon. And this dashboard is pretty rough, but it's just to show you an idea, because it's not real that this system only has 8 USD. So basically, inside Xenon, we have these 3 agents. We have the observer agent, where basically it retrieves market data. In this case, it also retrieves the current ratio between the dollar and the euro. It retrieves the current wallet status, and so on and so forth. So you get the point. It gets all the market data and generates a report. This report is sent to the third, to the second agent, which is the task manager agent, that analyzes the report and decides to generate 1 or more tasks, which are actually transactions. So swapping tokens, depositing on protocols, withdrawing, so on and so forth. You get the point. In this case, this system is meant to manage stable coins on Base. So that's why here you can see EuroC or USDC. And then these tasks, which are actually textual tasks, are sent to the executor agent, which is the last agent, that sends these prompts to Brian. Brian generates the transaction for it, and the executor executes these transactions. Once the transactions have been executed, the executor agent generates a final report that is sent back to the task manager agent that combines it with the observer report. And these two reports are basically stored together into a final report that it's then used later from the observer to know what actions have been performed, why, what is the API, when these tokens were deposited, at what price, and so on and so forth. And then the system decides on its own to go to sleep in case it needs to wait, I don't know, 1 day because they want to see how their position changes, or they decide to sleep for 5 minutes because they want to make another swap, or they decide to not sleep at all and just execute new actions. So basically, these are all the tokens that are held by this system in this case. And as you can see, most of them are tokens for into DeFi protocols. And what it's nice is that we took care of everything. So the communication between agents, the memory management, the execution of transaction, the generation of transactions. So the only thing that a developer will be needing to do is get in the code, change how they behave, and basically they can build a degen ape multi-agent system, or another one that uses forecasting, and so on and so forth. And just to give you an idea, we can go into the agent thoughts. And here we can see, hopefully, because I saw an error before, so let me see if this is, okay, this is not running. Just give me 1 second, okay? Hopefully this should be, okay, yeah. And as you can see here, we have the different thoughts and messages that each agent is sending to each other. So we can see the observer agent report here with the different wallet balances, the open positions, the market opportunities, and so on and so forth, his recommendations. And then here we see the task manager that basically wants to swap a portion of this token to ERC, or deposit it, or depositing ERC into Morpho, and so on and so forth. And we can see also past transactions, hopefully, because it has been stopped for a long time. But as you can see here, we can see some tasks being created by the task manager, which are actually just textual tasks that then are basically fed to the Brian API. And as I already mentioned, this is completely autonomous. So they decide to sleep whenever they want, and so on. They decide pretty much on how to handle this wallet. So that was it. Thank you so much.
Awesome. So real quick, can you walk through quite a bit. Can you kind of just give like a TLDR on the like user flow for how someone might use this and what they would use it for? So is this meant for developers that want to essentially launch their own trading bots or something like that? Would you say that?
Yeah, I would say that basically this system that we are building is meant for more advanced DeFi-oriented multi-agent systems. So it's not for like posting on Twitter. Even if you want, you could add a tool for posting on Twitter, but it's meant for more complex agents, systems that need to, for example, manage a large stable portfolio, or a developer that wants to make a degen multi-agent system that just swaps tokens on whatever chains and tries to find the best one. So it's more meant for that kind of the market rather than the more social one, because of, as I mentioned before, you cannot interact with them because they are meant to basically work inside their container, basically.
Shaw, Jasper, any thoughts or questions?
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, like, are there any end-to-end agents
going on with your audio? Try one more time, maybe.
Any luck now? My odds died.
No, you're good.
Are there any end-to-end agents that I can interact with that do this, or can I kind of demonstrate it?
What? Sorry, I didn't get the question.
So
sorry, my audio is probably bad and my AirPods died. Is there any like end-to-end agent where I could like go interact, and I'd love to just like see it in action? Is that a thing?
We are, as I mentioned before, it's not live yet because everything that I showed you works on mainnet. So like we want to test it the best way possible before releasing it, because like also Brian only works on mainnet. So everything that we do, since when you launch this, it's going to be autonomous, it's going to be executing transactions. We want to make sure that it's like the most robust possible. So, but it's coming next week, as I mentioned, because between the vacations, me being sick and so on, we didn't have the time to release it. But by the end of next week, it's going to be open source for everybody to use it and to test it.
Awesome. Okay, amazing. Well, thank you so much. It was really great to check this out. I know I've been hearing about it, so it was awesome to kind of see it, and I'm looking forward for it to be released, and we'll definitely be sharing it once that comes.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a nice one.
You too. Thanks. All right. So next we have two guests. So welcome, guys. Do you want to give us a quick intro and then dive right in?
Yes, that sounds good. So thanks, Nader. We're very excited to be here and have this opportunity to showcase some of the things we've been working on together with our partners at Omo Protocol. I'm Zero, co-founder of Redacted Research, and we're building Thales, the ELISA agent that we will shortly see in action here. And that is, by the way, also my profile picture here, the iconic orange AI16C hat. And we have a lot of plans for Thales. Some stuff will be revealed as we build, but at its core, Thales is a data-driven CT, KOL, and autonomous on-chain agent that shares alpha on Twitter and that will ultimately engage in autonomous economic activity on-chain based on his analytics. And to enable that, we're working on a custom data aggregation and analytics system that brings together various data points from different APIs and scrapers for social and on-chain data that we're building ourselves to really empower Thales to make informed and smart decisions, both in terms of content, but also on-chain execution. And a lot of this is yet to be released. Some basic data-driven insights are already live on Twitter. And to power the agent under the hood, basically, we're calling a llama model on hyperbolic for inference, and we're looking to kind of fine-tune a model, more specialized model that we will also be hosting on decentralized infrastructure along the way. But while I could talk a lot more about all the cool stuff we have coming on that front, also other partnerships that we've lined up, like tokenizing Thales's IP on Story Protocol and stuff. What we're really excited about for today and the demo here is that we can showcase two key integrations for Thales that we've been working on with the chats at Omo Labs. So what I specifically mean is our Lit Protocol plugin and the Shogun SDK plugin for Thales. So before I hand over for the demo, let me quickly explain. Lit Protocol is a decentralized MPC-based key management and signing layer with basically TE nodes for key derivation as well, which Thales leverages to securely sign transactions across Solana and EVM chains like Base with paired addresses, and with Shogun, an intent-based cross-VM bridging solution. Thales will also be able to perform on-chain swaps on various chains and soon even move funds across various chains and across VM borders. So for example, from Solana to Base or vice versa using his lit keys. And I think that's a great point to be handing over things to my friend Rard for the actual demo and some more insights into Omo Protocol's part in all of this as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, thank you for hosting us, guys. Appreciate the opportunity. I'm the founder of Omo. Omo is a multi-agent orchestration layer. In the short to medium term, what we're focused on is agents as a service. So we work with good teams like the Thales guys, a couple of different other teams within the AI16Z ecosystem, and broader agent frameworks to kit out and suite out their agents. As Zero mentioned, I'll share my screen real quick, and then we can just check out this demo real quick. Okay, there we go. Just for the sake of brevity, we just used Loom. Essentially, This using an advanced design pattern within ELIZA called like the evaluator logic, you can actually have like the agent logs be registered, and it can actually be translated to different plugins, whether that's making tweets or transacting on chain using the Lit protocol plugin and the Shogun plugin respectively. So we just ran pnpm n, and you can see here that the sender address, the destination address, source chain is just on base itself. It's swapping USDC to CBBTC. I'll just speed it up a bit. It's sending it over to OmoVault, Omo router. Dive a bit deeper into that in just one moment. Approving the use of CBBTC on the vault itself. So if we jump over here, this is the actual transaction hash that was used. Essentially, we're still using Shogun, not for cross VM capacity, but for getting the lowest quote for CBBTC on base itself. So it runs kind of like an advanced routing logic, and it ends up with wrap Bitcoin. And then in the following transaction, it deposits into OmoVault, and OmoVault is an agentic yield aggregator. So instead of using router and adapter smart contracts like simple standard 4626 contracts, we actually have a yield agent that takes the collateral out of the vault and runs the strategy. And then here's just showcasing that the agent, the Talos agent here, got its shares ERC20 and it deposits CBBTC. And then jumping over here, these are the logs. So with the yield agent itself, this isn't the ELIZA framework. This is actually using AgentKit. Which is a LangChain wrapper using CDP-STK for an actual on-chain wallet. And how the architecture works is that whenever a user deposits, the API checks if it is a unique user or like if the wallet has already interacted with the protocol. If it hasn't, it spins up a unique agent wallet ID right here using the CDP or Coinbase Developer API. It whitelists the agent to call agent-only functions. And then it begins the yield flow, and then it just checks the state of the vault before it actually borrows the capital out of the vault, respectively.
Okay, so when I guess the interaction that you just kind of showed, is this just something that would be done autonomously, or is it based on what is the input, I guess?
Yeah. So for the sake of the demo, we constrained the evaluator logic just to the OmoVault smart contract and CBBTC and USDC. If the Talos guys wanted to, they could basically just whitelist all the different protocols on top of base, a bunch of different addresses, right? And then based off of that data driven aggregation layer that they have, the Talos agent can then choose whatever tokens it wants to swap into, interact with different protocols. But for the sake of the demo, we just constrained it to Omo protocol itself.
And what is the reactionary input? So for instance, it's making a decision based on social information, or is it on-chain information, or?
Yeah, it's probably a bit of both. What we handle on the Talos side of things is we focus purely on the on-chain execution. This is more like Zero's domain, but I can answer for him as well, where they're scraping whether it's off-chain logic or on-chain activity of different wallets that they want to track respectively. They also can implement their own trading strategy or their own intent of what this Talos agent wants to prefer, right? It could be a Bitcoin a Bitcoin or stablecoin yield maxi, right? And that's going to effectively change how the agent transacts on the respective ecosystem.
Yeah, and what I can
go ahead.
quickly add here, I think that was pretty much on point already. So the data aggregation and analytics system, that is still work in progress, but ultimately what we already have at disposal is quite a bit of on-chain data from various APIs that we have integrated. As mentioned before, we're also looking to integrate social metrics, be it through APIs for smart engagement, mindshare, and whatnot, but also proprietary data scraping from socials to monitor KOLs, identify trends, and whatever have you. Plus, do the same on-chain. We also have a list of smart wallets that we're going to be tracking and hopefully continuously kind of extend to listen to on-chain events and kind of have the agent informed of what is happening, for example, in the context of these addresses that he's tracking. What are they buying? What are like the trustworthy KOLs talking about on Twitter, so to say? And then based on that, he can ultimately arrive at a decision to, for example, buy and sell a token, or if we're talking about whatever kind of yield analytics that he could potentially be doing select pools or strategies to deposit on, for example, OMO vaults, as we've showcased here in this demo.
So Jasper, Shaw, any thoughts or questions?
Thanks for using Hyperbolic. May I know what model are you using, and then like what is the what new capability you want the AI model to have, and we can figure out a way to work with you to have that feature for the new model.
So currently we're using the Llama 70B or Llama 3.370B versatile model on Hyperbolic. And with regards to improving the model that we're using, we're actually looking to kind of really give Thales a unique personality and make his interactions as natural as possible, which is why we're looking to bring more resources on board to really train a model on kind of labeled data sets that we want to put together to ensure that he interacts in the right manner. And that's definitely something we're currently looking into. And as I've briefly hinted at, we're looking to run our proprietary fine-tuned model on decentralized infrastructure as well, like in the longer term. So I think that might also be an interesting angle to explore.
That's awesome. Yeah, we can provide compute on our platform, and then we can host it for you once you fine-tune it.
That sounds really cool.
One thing to just to touch on again, I don't know how, I know this has been mentioned in the chat. I'm not sure if it was touched on here or not, but basically the history between this agent and then Eliza and Shaw and all of you guys together, like maybe diving into that would be cool, I think.
Yeah, my mind's kind of blown.
Yeah, no, I could talk a bit about that. So yeah, we kind of I started building OMO by myself like back in like November 2023, like looking to use like the autonomous framework for on-chain activity, but agent frameworks didn't really get good until like October, November this year. Agent Kit came out like in October, and then we started building like an agentic yield aggregator, kind of like the original vision on top of Base. And then Eliza came out, and then we started champing it up with the the Zero research team, and just found it was like made sense in terms of like creating like a primitive version of like cross agent framework collaboration or integration, right? Because it's fundamentally two different agent frameworks executing the same intent, right? One is just focused on actually generating the yield, and the other one is just sourcing the opportunity based on its own data-driven insights.
Yeah. So Thales was the name of my first agent framework. And that was just like a coin that somebody made kind of on a whim and like posted under my thing. And then it kind of died. And then Zero CTO'd the coin, kind of sick. And working and we actually talked like a few weeks ago. I was like, yeah, cool. You're working on some really cool stuff. Obviously the redacted guys are pretty cracked. And I actually just talked to one of my other partners. I think we're gonna do a partnership with Omo. I've been like obviously on this tour, so we haven't really had a chance to catch up. But yeah, I'm really excited about what you guys are doing. So
very helpful, very
100%.
Cool. Good context.
I just want to say like one quick thing. I use Hyperbolic's API for the new Quen model, so appreciate that, brother.
Thanks. Yeah, shoot me your account. Maybe we can give you some free credits too.
Okay, bet.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. It was really great. We'll be sure to share all these links later, and I hope you all have a great weekend.
Thanks, sirs. Thanks for having us.
All right. So we're now up to our last guest here, and this is a really cool one because I've known Kevin for a long time, and he's been doing amazing stuff. He's actually helped me out a lot in my career, so it's really cool to have you on. Welcome, and yeah, looking forward to hearing what you're building.
Thanks, Nader. Hey, Shaw, good to see you again. Jasper, great to meet you. Everyone else, what's up? How's it going? I'm going to be presenting today a project that I've been cooking called InfiniteRegen.ai. I just shared my screen. Hopefully we can spotlight that right there.
There we go.
Great. Okay, so this is a project called InfiniteRegen.ai. Before I get into what the project is, just want to tell you about the team behind the project. I'm partnered with my ride or die dev on this, Bold Panther. I myself, I'm Kevin Iwaki. I founded Gitcoin, which has distributed $65 million to the Web3 ecosystem so far. Mostly through quadratic funding, but we're exploring the design space of what I call regen Web3. I wrote a book called The Green Pill Book, How Crypto Can Regenerate the World. Regen is just kind of basically like how do we make number go up, but not just financial capital, but also like other good things that we want. So you can kind of think of the regen space as building a bridge between financial capital and other things that matter out there. Our mission is to fund what matters, and you can kind of think of what I do as a mechanism designer as traversing the design space of how do we fund what matters in Web3. So basically studying on-chain capital allocation and how can we use AI agents in order to allocate capital to the things that matter to us. This is a design space, and we're in this n-dimensional design space, and we're trying to figure out how we want to fund what matters in the 21st century. And I not only mean like impact stuff like climate change, biodiversity, AI alignment stuff, but I also mean like funding what matters, like making number go up for your ecosystem. So this is both for-profit and non-profit design space. Why am I telling you this? I have a vision for how I could do this better, faster, cheaper by building a regen agent swarm that contains the smartest regen KOLs out there, key opinion leaders. So people who are like an LLM that's smarter than Vitalik. And basically what I want to do is I want to take all the podcasts that I've been doing over the last couple of years with Vitalik and Hey Shaw, thanks for doing a podcast with me on the Green Pill podcast. Saram from Eigenlayer, Juan Benet, like these level thinkers, ingest them into a swarm of LLMs. And then basically what we're going to do is we're going to explore the mechanism design space and invent the next quadratic funding or retro funding or DAO ICOs and stuff like that. So what I'm going to show you today is a regen AI swarm that we have put together. It's got a bunch of different personas in there. But let's just say that for now, myself, an AI trained on my writing and then an AI trained on Vitalik's writing, we're going to put them in a room. And I call that room not an infinite back room, but an infinite regen room. And that's what I'm about to show you today. So I'm over at app.infiniteregen.ai, and you can see that it's just a very basic app where I can create an agent, I can chat with agents, and then I can launch a back room. Okay, this is like everyone's building an AI agent launch pad right here. This is ours. And you can see that I've had some chats with the various AIs that I've launched. And I can go in and I can launch an infinite back room with, let's just use GPT-4 for now. And what I want to do is I want to give the chat a goal of exploring the design space of innovative funding mechanisms for funding public goods. And then I want to give it the objectives of, let's just say, identifying key challenges, things like the free rider problem and the principal agent problem, surveying the potential solutions, assessing their feasibility and impact, and finally give me a roadmap for experimentation for what's the next quadratic funding, what's the next great public goods funding mechanism. So this is a back room that I've launched between myself, Iwaki AI, and Vitalik AI that's basically designing in the design space what is the coolest way that you can fund what matters in the 21st century. I'll spare you having to read the entire chat, and instead we'll just look at this summarized document of the chat right here, which talks about all of the different things that the AIs discovered in their chatter in the Infinite Regen back room. So basically what this infinite backroom does is that it just generates a chat between all of the different LLMs, and then it gives a summary to the user, which they can use in their work of funding what matters. So that's what we've done so far. I'd say the roadmap is pretty much like, we're kind of just fucking around and finding out, if I'm being totally honest. But like some milestones I'd love to hit in the future is that the agents can accurately imitate the defined personas, like the top KOLs out there. And then what I want to do is expose those agents to other people on Twitter by launching Twitter profiles for these agents. I'm not going to do it until the agents are actually good at exploring the design space. And then I think like another thing that's important to me as a regen, like someone who likes to build positive sum games, is that if we do monetize this ever, I think we want to share the money back to the KOLs who produce the training information that this was created on. That's like an important value for me, and I think that creates more positive sum games. And then I want to use these backrooms to design better funding experiments for the Ethereum ecosystem is basically the goal. So that is the demo that I have for today. If you want to get involved, you can join the Telegram or check out the landing page at infiniteregen.ai. You can also follow the first few AI bots that we've launched: Green Pill AI, Infinite Regen AI, and Grok AI over here. I'll just put some links in the chat so that everyone has those. And thanks for the time, Nader. Thanks for making this space. Shaw, thanks for creating ELIZA. We're using ELIZA under the hood here. And curious to get your feedback on infiniteregen.ai.
Let's go. That's really, really cool stuff. You said that you are fucking around and finding out. I think the problem is like some people are too scared to fuck around, so they never do find out. So the fact that you are fucking around, that's a really good thing. And if you're a builder, you should be fucking around as much as possible.
Yeah. Just do it like in a risk-adjusted way. Dip your toes in the water before you ape all the way in. I'd say I've been in the space for 8 years now, and I haven't been blown up yet. And I always like to dip my toes in the water before really diving in on the deep end.
Awesome. Yeah, I guess questions or thoughts from either of you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's super. I didn't realize you just put a whole freaking launch pad together. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll credit to Bold Panther, who's my ride or die dev on this, and we've been, like I said, fucking around and finding out. I think the next milestone is to get Vitalik AI to a point where we feel proud of the output it's creating, and then launching a Twitter profile. And I may also DM Vitalik and be like, "Hey, I did this. Just so you know, it's for public goods. I'm not, not trying to like cop your cloud or anything like that. And if we do make any money off of it, it'll go to causes that Vitalik cares about." But yeah, the next milestone will be getting Vitalik AI, I think, to a good spot.
You'll just have to block all the people who are like gonna create meme coins around it every day.
Well, this is funny, is you and I did a podcast together 3 weeks ago, and out of that, a bunch of people created meme coins for infiniteregen.ai, and we were like, listen, we're not going to tokenize this until we feel like it's actually good. So I don't know, mad respect to people who have done tokens out there, but like that's something that I want to make sure that this is good before we tokenize it.
I love that. I'd also love to see it be like kind of you can go pretty far with like I was chatting with some folks about the idea of like, well, how do we like determine who some of the things we're working on is this idea of agents actually looking at the GitHub repo and giving points to each user and determining how to like who to fund. I'd love to see like each of the different agents. I'm just kind of riffing, but you go pretty far with like, pointing at this project, and then they might actually talk about like, well, who actually should get the points for this, and like what is the funding mechanism. I don't know. I could imagine something kind of like automated quadratic funding where they're like placing their votes or something like that. It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. One of the limits that we have in Web3 public goods funding is getting people to express their preferences and then ingesting that into the capital allocation mechanism. But if you had AIs that were in charge of combing all the information and asserting your values for you, then you can like minimize the amount of preferences that I have to express. And the AI can be very expressive for me. And that creates like an inflection point where we can fund what matters to people better than ever possible before. So expect more AI agent on capital allocation stuff launching in 2025, and looking forward to working with you guys on that.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling so far about the agents that you've created, and in terms of, I would say, creating very dynamic or unique personas? Like, how challenging has that been?
I'd say that like they start off with like a third grader level of intelligence, and then you try to get them up to like a college student, and then from there, like, PhD. Obviously, like the academic hierarchy isn't something we're trying to mimic, but I'm just trying to give you a level.
Mm-hmm.
Green Pill AI tweets out stuff that I'm like, well, I hadn't thought about it that way before, and I'm like, and that makes me feel like they're actually intellectually good. But I think if we want to get like alien level intelligence, galaxy brain intelligence, we probably have another couple months of work.
Which LLM are you using?
We're using ChatGPT 4 right now, so we're not even on what is it, O3 is the new one that they just released that's supposed to be like PhD level intelligence. I'm looking forward to upgrading that when it becomes available.
Oh yeah. Jasper, thoughts?
Yeah, is it like when you say you want to make the AI as smart as Vitalik, is it more about like prompt engineering, or like how do you plan to make it smart?
I don't really know. I bring the subject matter expertise of how do we fund public goods and the relationship to all these smart builders. And my best thought is to take the most like ChatGPT 03 and ingest all of Vitalik's writings into it. And then probably DM Shaw and Jin and say, how do I make this smarter? Like, to be honest, I don't bring the AI expertise here, and I know what I don't know, but I think that we're just going to keep iterating is the answer. If you have any tips, please let me know.
Yeah, that's good. I think like in injecting all the knowledge is the first step, and if there's a way to fine tune O3, there's some way to do it as well. Yeah.
For sure. See a comment in the chat about organizing your data sets, making them easy to embed and retrieve. I think that's really smart. Also, we'll work on that as well.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you so much. This is great. I'll be sure to share all these links, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. And thank you for being patient. I know this ran over a little longer than we expected.
Thanks for hosting. You guys are goats. See you in 2025. Peace.
Later. All right. Well, that's it. This wraps it up. Shaw, I appreciate you coming on and staying late. I know that there's a multitude of things. Number one, you're in Asian time zone. It's very late. Number two, you're unbelievably busy. But I just wanted to shout out that you have been one of the most like accessible people that is like also well renowned at this point. You have like, you're always online, like retweeting and boosting and like uplifting people within the community. I think that has been really positive for the ELIZA and AI16Z, all that whole ecosystem, because people like really, really appreciate all that. So it's really cool to have you on. I appreciate your time to be here with us today.
Thanks for having me. And I mean, it's really great to watch all this stuff getting built. It's like, wow, there's so much. So I even a lot of this stuff, I didn't know Kevin was working on. That's fucking sick. So
yeah, it must be cool to see people literally building companies with like the software that you've written. I think that it's must be insane.
God, it's beautiful to me. It's it's emotional.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I think the tweet that you tweeted out like with your story like definitely hit a note with a lot of people, man. That's fucking crazy. Hell yeah, man. All right. Well, thanks everyone for chiming in. We hit 12,500 views. So we like went about 40-50% from last one. Next time we're going to be even more because there's even more shit to show off. And we have a list of 200 agents that we're going to have to parse to kind of find the best ones. So if anyone wants to join, I'm going to drop a link for how to sign up, and we will see you next week with another one. Thanks.
Take care, y'all.
Bye-bye.